All right, let's get right into it. If you're a parent, or really anyone who's ever been around a kid, you know the struggle over rules and behavior. Today, we're going to look at a really powerful alternative to the usual methods. We're talking about how to build character that actually sticks, and we're drawing our inspiration from the incredible approach of the Equal Chance Boxing Foundation. This is the big one, isn't it? The million-dollar question. It's not about making them behave while you're standing right there. It's about building that little voice inside, that internal compass, so they choose to do the right thing even when no one's around. That's the real challenge we're tackling. Okay, so first, let's talk about the thing most of us already feel in our gut isn't working. This endless, frustrating cycle of punishment. It's just exhausting, right? And as we're about to see, it usually ends up making things a whole lot worse. Does this look familiar? It's like a hamster wheel so many of us get stuck on. You set a rule, they break it, you take away the phone. But the thing is, it doesn't actually fix the behavior long term. All it does is create this battlefield in your own home where everyone just gets angry and starts keeping secrets. And here's the real kicker, the psychological shift that happens. When we punish a kid, their brain doesn't go, wow, I really messed up. Nope. It goes, this is so unfair. I'm mad at them. So they're not learning self-control. They're just learning how to be sneakier next time. So the big question is, how do we get off that hamster wheel? Well, it all starts with understanding two words that we throw around like they're the same thing, but honestly, they are from completely different planets: discipline and punishment. See, punishment is all about looking in the rearview mirror. It's a reaction to something that's already gone wrong. And the consequence, like taking away a video game because they didn't do their homework, is totally disconnected from the actual problem. It's just about control, and it's based on fear. Now, discipline. Discipline is totally different. It's proactive. It actually comes from the Latin word for training or to teach. It's not about making them pay for what they did wrong. It's about building the skills and the habits they need to get it right in the future. It's a teaching process. And this chart just lays it all out perfectly. Look at the two columns. Punishment, it's reactive, it's disconnected, and it makes the kid mad at you. The goal is just to control them. But discipline, that's proactive. The consequences make sense, and the focus is on learning. The goal is to build that internal compass we were talking about. So what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's step inside a pretty unlikely classroom for character development, a boxing gym. We're going to see how the Equal Chance Boxing Foundation puts all this into practice. What's so brilliant about the gym is it takes all the emotional drama out of the equation. The feedback you get is immediate, it's fair, and it's totally impersonal. The heavy bad doesn't care if you're in a bad mood. It's just going to react to how you hit it. This right here is what we call natural consequences in action. It's so simple. You decide to skip your morning run? Okay. The consequence isn't a parent yelling at you. It's you, completely out of breath in the third round, wishing you'd done the work. The sport itself becomes the teacher, and trust me, that's a lesson that sticks. And the lessons are about so much more than just the physical stuff. In boxing, if you get angry, you get sloppy. You get tense, you telegraph your punches. So kids learn really fast that real power, true control, comes from a calm, focused mind, not from losing your temper. And that is a superpower you can take with you anywhere. Yeah, this kind of training builds way more than just muscle. We're talking about a fundamental shift, like a total rewiring of how a young person sees themselves and the world. And it all comes down to this one simple, incredibly powerful idea: competence breeds confidence. Real, lasting self-esteem doesn't come from someone telling you good job. It comes from that quiet, deep-down pride you feel when you finally master something you thought was impossible. It has to be earned. Think about it. For so many kids, especially anxious ones, the fear of failing is just paralyzing. But the gym completely flips the script. In here, failure isn't just okay, it's required. You're going to get tired, you're going to mess up, and a coach is going to correct you. But then, you just try again. There's no shame, no humiliation, and slowly, that crippling fear of failure just melts away. I love this quote from the source material because it gets to the heart of why this works. As a parent, your love is unconditional, which sometimes makes it really hard to be the tough bad guy. But a coach's respect isn't a given. It has to be earned through sweat and showing up every day. And that's a dynamic that teens, for whatever reason, respond to like nothing else. So let's wrap this all up by looking at the end game, the whole point of all of this. It isn't just about getting kids to obey. The goal is so much bigger. It's about true, deep, internalized self-control. And this slide says everything you need to know. Punishment is external. It's a security guard that only works when someone's looking over your shoulder. But discipline, that becomes internal. The kid literally learns to become their own coach, to push themselves, to make good choices because they want to, not because they're afraid of what will happen if they don't. But here's the reality check. There's a massive problem. This kind of life-changing character-building discipline, it's often locked away behind a huge financial wall. The whole pay-to-play system for youth sports means the very kids who need this structure the most often can't get anywhere near it. And this is why the mission of this foundation is just so important. They operate on a simple belief. Discipline should not have a price tag. They've taken a sledgehammer to that financial wall. There's no tuition, no fees for equipment, the coaching, the gym, the gear. It is all 100% free. So, does it work? Well, check this out. They have a 95% program completion rate. Let that sink in, 95%. That number is just staggering. It proves that when you give kids a real chance with real support and mentorship, they don't just participate, they commit. They show up and they change their own lives. So we're going to end with this question, something for all of us to think about. It really is the fundamental choice we make every single day. Are we trying to control our kids, or are we trying to teach them to control themselves? Because punishment teaches a kid to fear getting caught, but discipline teaches them to respect themselves enough to do the right thing, even when absolutely nobody is watching.